A boy gets pregnant. An MPREG feminization tale. Nikki Crescent. Chapter 1. I had a strange feeling buzzing inside of me when my sister and her husband showed up at my doorstep. "Can we sit down to talk?" they both asked, almost in perfect sync, as if they'd practiced that line at least a few times before walking up to my door. "Why? What do you want to talk about?" I said, worried that someone died, or maybe they were going to ask me for money. Though I was always the one asking them for money, maybe they finally fell into hard times. "We just want to chat," Timothy said. He had a nervous smile on his face. He bit his lip and took a deep breath. Now I was starting to feel even more nervous. "What's this about?" I said, now starting to feel like it was some sort of intervention. Sure, I'd used the money I'd borrowed from them to buy liquor a few times, but there was no way they could know that. Timothy made so much money, the money they lent me was hardly a drop in the bucket. I doubt he even noticed the funds missing from his account most of the time. "Let's just sit down, Carson," my sister said. I knew Petra's nervous smile too well. Now it was more nervous than ever. "Is Mom okay?" I said. "Let's just sit. Mom's fine. Maybe you can make some coffee for everyone. You have coffee, right?" I shrugged my shoulders, stepping aside to let my sister and her husband into my house. I watched my sister closely. Now she was clenching her teeth together. The lines around her eyes and her lips looked more prominent than ever, as if she'd aged 5 years in as many months. I'd only seen them a few times in the past few years, when I was asking for money and when they invited me to their parties because they invited our other brothers and sisters. So I made some coffee after scraping some of the old coffee sludge off of my coffee pot. I filled a few mugs with warm coffee. I only had 2 clean mugs, so I gave myself a used one that was only just used the night before for whiskey. Then I sat down to face Timothy and Petra, who were sitting shoulder to shoulder on my love seat, clearly trying to avoid the stains on the armrests, which were years old now. "What is it?" I asked. They looked at each other with big toothy smiles. Then they looked back at me. "Carson, we want to," they said at the same time, cutting themselves off at the same time. They looked at each other again, as if to decide who would take the lead. Then Timothy cleared his throat. "Carson, as you know, we've been trying to have a baby for years now." I shrugged my shoulders. Had they been trying? Did I know that? Maybe Petra had mentioned it once or twice. "All right," I said.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?